Hello again. Got a noisy cockerels in the background today, but for this one I wanted to talk about a certain aspect of fitness, physical fitness, which I think is perhaps the most important out of all of them. If there's any one you want to have to work on, make it this one, which is cardio. So your cardiovascular fitness, like the strength and ability of your heart to pump blood around your body. So why would I say that it's more important than things like strength or speed or flexibility? As important as those things are, not only in martial arts, but this kind of refers to almost any aspect of training, really, because it also when you train cardio, you also sort of train your lung capacity as well. That also, they're kind of tying together. So it's so important because it's almost like your battery, like your power source. If you imagine it in the sort of more like robotic way. So the greater your cardiovascular fitness, the sort of more capacity your internal battery has. Like the harder, more output, energy it can output, and the longer it can tick over for. That's kind of the way you have to think about it. So even with things like weightlifting, lifting heavy weights, if you ever have lower cardio and then improve it, you'll notice that you're a lot less sort of out of breath just from doing that, and it makes everything a lot easier. It ties the overall increased blood flow in your body always helps. It's never a bad thing to have more of that, and it just translates into every aspect of fitness. And so, like in more of a martial arts sense, it's also because the better your cardiovascular fitness, the better level of endurance you can have, and the more endurance you can have, the longer you can keep your standard up. You might have a really high skill level, but as your sort of fitness standard and fitness level or level of fatigue increases, that skill level will drop continuously until you're just you're at that stage where you're puffing and panting, and your skill level's nowhere near what it is when you're like well rested and fresh. So the better your cardiovascular fitness, the longer you can keep that up for. But also, even though like most fights, real fights, are like only about 10 or so seconds long, or less even sometimes, having that increased cardio fitness really helps to offset the effect of adrenaline, because you get a big adrenaline dump, and that can really mess you up. Actually, it's meant as a survival thing, but it can actually really screw you up and mess your technique and your awareness up. It makes you hyper focused, so you literally get tunnel vision. You can't see anything around you other than what's like directly in front of you. You kind of go into sort of panic mode. So that's where like lots of training comes in, lots of repetitions to make that sort of more of an instinctive reaction when you get into that sort of really base animalistic state that an adrenaline jump puts you in. But having high cardio also helps offset that effect, and also because you can have an adrenaline dump and it's only like a 10-second fight, but you'll be like really, really tired afterwards, and it can make it so you get less affected by that immense sort of fatigue from this big adrenaline dump as well. So every aspect of fitness training benefits from having good cardio. It's always something you want to sort of build up first before you start, especially if you're kind of new to fitness training. You want to work on building your cardio up first before trying to dive into other areas. And then in terms of just like fighting, it really benefits you in so many different ways, as I just kind of tried to explain as best I can. So that's a bit about cardio, why I think it's the most important element of fitness for you to train. Let me know what you think about it as well, and I'll see you in the next video.